Hey everybody, welcome back to Old Man Van Running. Hope you had a great new year. Hope you had a great holiday season, whatever holiday you celebrate. And I hope you were safe and healthy and able to spend a lot of quality time with family and friends. Now we're in 2022 and it's time to get back at it. So you know I'm a stability runner. I wear Stability Daily trainers. I reviewed a number of Stability Daily trainers. I've also reviewed a carbon fiber plated super shoe, the ASICS Metaspeed Sky, that's neutral, but has some stability aspects to it. I've also mentioned the Hoka Carbon X series, the Brooks Hyperion Elite 2 as being neutral carbon fiber racing shoes that do have some stability aspects to them. But, you know, not everybody wants to go out and spend $250 on a pair of racing shoes. So what do us stability runners do for a reasonably priced, lightweight racing shoe that has some stability characteristics to it? Well, that's been a challenge over the years. When I got back into running back in late 2018 and early 2019, I went out and I went to Brooks because I was a Brooks fanboy at the time. They just fit me, they just worked for me. And I was looking for a racing shoe to go along with my Adrenaline series daily trainers. What I found from Brooks is they have a shoe called the Brooks Hyperion right here. It's an 8+ ounce training / racing shoe. It was marketed as a racing shoe, very flexible, but nice and firm, right? And it had some really firm midsole material here, kind of like a medial post that provided some stability. Firm shoe, a good 5K shoe, good 10K shoe, but not a shoe that you could take, say, up to a half marathon or even longer. Now that was great for me. I'm like, hey, I found a good racing shoe. Problem was, they were discontinuing this bad boy. And discontinuing it, I'm like, what am I going to do after that? Are they going to replace it with a new version? If so, I'm good to go because there'll be a new Hyperion with stability features. That was not the case. Brooks phased out the Hyperion and they moved on. So being real nervous about that, I went out and bought a second pair of the Hyperions before they were totally gone, so I'd have a backup pair. But that wasn't going to last me forever because I plan on doing a lot of racing. So I went to Brooks and said, hey, what are your other options? Now they have the Brooks Ravenna series, which I also tried, a little bit heavier, and they're kind of their speed series, but they're not really a racer. They're a little firmer, and I wouldn't take those up to a marathon. And they did have guide rails, like I like the guide rails on the Brooks. But I didn't really like those shoes, and they didn't really work that well for me. But I wanted something similar to the Hyperion, very, very light. So what did Brooks tell me? They said, you know what? We're not replacing the Hyperion with another stability racer. What we are doing, however, is we're introducing the Brooks Hyperion Tempo. This is that shoe right here. And we're going to talk about this shoe today. The Brooks Hyperion Tempo, brand new shoe, neutral, but with a nice, stable ride. And this shoe is the training partner to the Brooks Hyperion Elite series. So, you know, disappointed that I couldn't find another stability racing shoe, I decided, you know what, I might as well give this shoe a shot and see how it works. Well, let me tell you, I need Stability Daily trainers. And I've raced in carbon fiber plated super shoes that are relatively stable and really, really good. This shoe blows all of them away. Blows all of them away. It's a neutral shoe that I can't tell that it's not a stability shoe. And better than that, this is light as a feather and so responsive, and it also has some cushioning in it. The best of all worlds. Why am I talking about it today though? Because they're about to update this shoe to version 2. And I'm kind of worried that the traits in this shoe that I love so much are going to go away. So I may have to stock up again to make sure that I have enough of these in my rotation that'll last me a while. But I think it's important today for those stability runners out there that are watching my channel and my videos that you get a sense for what the options are out there and what some really good options are for you as a stability runner with racing shoes. So I want to give my long-term review of this shoe and tell you why I think this is the perfect racing shoe, neutral racing shoe for a stability runner. So let's get right into it. This is the Brooks Hyperion Tempo. It's still available, many colors. They haven't provided a launch date yet for the Hyperion Tempo 2. I've got about 100 miles on this shoe, and let me tell you, this is just amazing. This shoe only weighs 7.3 ounces in a men's size 9. Think about that for a second. 7.3 ounces. There are carbon fiber plated super shoes out there that weigh more. That's extremely, extremely light. And it's got a 28 millimeter stack height. 28 millimeters. And you would think, okay, well, at 7.3 ounces, this thing's going to be stiff as a rock. Well, I wouldn't say stiff, but firm, 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 and not have any cushion to it. That is not the case. The Brooks Hyperion Tempo uses the DNA Flash. The DNA Flash midsole material that's also used in the Hyperion Elite 2. This is a nitrogen-infused midsole material that I'm going to tell you, this midsole material in this shoe is just perfect. There is cushion there. Yeah, it's not mushy soft, but man, does it have good energy return. As much energy return almost as the carbon fiber shoes do. So I'm going to tell you, if you don't want to spend $250 on a carbon fiber plated racing shoe, this is great for you. This shoe has a 28 millimeter stack height in the back, 20 millimeters in the front, for a heel to toe drop of 8 millimeters, which you've heard me before, I think is kind of like the perfect heel to toe drop. I do race in the Metaspeed Skies, which are 5 millimeters, and my Hoka Arahi 5s are 5 millimeters, but I really do like the 8 millimeters. My Glycerin GTS 19 training shoe, my Asics Gel Kayano 28s, those are 10 millimeters. I think 8 millimeters are really, really ideal heel to toe drop. This shoe is light, 7.3 ounces in a men's size 9. That's crazy, crazy, crazy. It just feels like it's not even there on your feet. Let's talk about the upper. The upper, very, very soft, very, very soft and pliable, really conforms to your foot. I have read some reviews or seen some comments where they say it's a little narrow, and I don't have the narrowest of feet. I just find that this is perfect, the perfect width for my forefoot. So I don't have any problem. My toes splay. It just feels really, really comfortable. I do like the laces. Albeit they're a little stretchy, and you know, from my Guide 14 review, I didn't like overly stretchy laces, but these are flat laces. They've got these little nibs on them that kind of help it, once you cinch it down, kind of stay cinched. So I don't mind these laces too much. I like the fact that they're flat, although they are a little stretchy. As for the tongue on this shoe, I really like it. It's flat, it's not gusseted. It's similar to the tongues on those other carbon fiber plated racing shoes. I'm finding that the flatter tongues I kind of like better than the heavily padded tongues on my training shoes. Those I tend to over tighten, and it starts to give me problems on the top of my feet. I'm finding that I like these flatter tongues a little bit better because I can get them in place. Once I cinch the laces down, they stay in place and I don't have any problem. And the fact that it's not gusseted, I haven't had any issues with. The ankle collar and heel collar, well padded. Not as well padded as those training shoes, but plenty padded enough. There's a nice little Achilles flare here at the back of the heel collar. I like that. Although, as I said before, I don't have any issues with rubbing on my heels. So, you know what? I just like it. It works. So that's good. Heel counter does have some structure to it. It's not as flimsy as in those real expensive super duper racing shoes, but they're able to do that. Gives it a real nice lockdown in the heel. They're able to do that, give it some structure without sacrificing weight. Again, 7.3 ounces. That's nuts. Midfoot, I like the midfoot. It's not too narrow, but it does kind of hug your foot and really feels good there. They don't have a lot of overlays on this because it's not a stability shoe. They don't need a lot of additional structure there. But what gives this shoe some structure and some stability is this nice wide base. Now, you know what, you say, well, that doesn't look overly wide, but I'm telling you, it's wide enough. And in the medial side, it doesn't feel like your foot is starting to roll in. It really has a nice, stable base. You can see this in the midsole here. It's pretty wide in the forefoot, and it's pretty wide in the rear foot. So, you know, that structure in the heel counter and the wideness of the midsole and the forefoot keeps that shoe planted. So I don't feel any rolling in at all. It really doesn't feel any different from my Stability Daily Trainer. So, and this is a neutral shoe. Breathable? This shoe is breathable. Plenty of perforations in the upper here. It just feels nice and airy when you're out there on the road. So in the wintertime, and it's real cold right now, I'm wearing some heavier Merino 10 wool socks. I love Features, by the way, and no, they're not paying me for that. It keeps my feet warm when I'm wearing the heavier Features. But this is a very, very well-ventilated shoe, so your feet aren't going to get hot in this shoe. Outsole. Plenty of rubber on this outsole. Look at that. Plenty of rubber. And like I said, this is almost 100 miles on this shoe. And where I normally wear it out, right here, look at that. There's still plenty of rubber there. Still plenty. So that is something that's really, really impressive. I mean, those expensive carbon fiber racing shoes, there's very little outsole rubber on there, and they wear through very, very quickly. You're lucky if you get through 100 miles without them wearing down to the midsole. Not so in this shoe. This shoe, it's going to last. There's very little wear on it. It's very solid, but you do have flexibility. Now, it's not super flexible, but you do have some flexibility there, despite the fact that you've got this very, I wouldn't say hard, but tough, abrasive resistant outsole material. So I've run some very, very fast paces in this shoe. When I wear this shoe, I can't run slow in it. And it's not that it forces me to run fast, but it's like you put it on, it's light, it's bouncy, it's got energy return at toe off, that you find yourself running much, much faster than you thought you would. Now, I've run some virtual races in it. I ran a virtual 5K in the middle of winter in under 22 minutes, which at the time was, pretty impressive for me. I'm under 21 minutes now, but at the time, I was like, wow, that thing was pretty quick. And I thought the shoe helped me do that. My final thoughts on this shoe are, if you are a stability runner and typically wear Stability Daily Trainers and need a little bit of pronation control and have been struggling to find a racing shoe that's not $250 or carbon plated, that you can wear 5Ks, 10Ks, half marathons, and I think you could even use this in a marathon, I think the Brooks Hyperion Tempo is the perfect shoe to wear. It's neutral, but it's stable. Neutral and stable. Without having medial posts, without having guide rails, it just works. And if you want to try this shoe, I would go out now and purchase this shoe. And if you really like it, purchase a couple of additional pairs while we wait for the Hyperion Tempo 2 to come out. Once the Hyperion Tempo 2 comes out, right away I'm going to purchase a pair on my own dime, by the way, and I'm going to give you my first impressions. But I'm also going to purchase a few additional pairs of this shoe in different colorways, because there's more colorways now than this one, although I like it. So I have some backups in case the Hyperion Tempo 2 doesn't work for me. Okay, if you like this video, down below, hit the thumbs up, and you know what that means, right? It's not thumbs down, it's thumbs up. If you didn't like it, it's okay to hit the thumbs down. As always, I ask you, if you have any constructive criticism or anything I can do to make my channel better or my videos better, please leave a comment below and I will respond. I respond to all the comments. I try to do it in a timely manner, but I will respond to any comments that are constructive. So if you want to get notified in new videos as I post them, please subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell. That way you will be notified when new videos are posted. I'm really looking forward to 2022. I appreciate you watching this video. I will be posting another installment of my Boston qualifier vlog coming up pretty soon. And I'm really hoping you'll follow this journey along with me. Thanks again. And remember, lace up your shoes and let's get out on the roads.